questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Fouhy.
How you doing today, Fouhy? What's going on?
I'm doing great. So look at this beautiful day. Been out at spring training this morning. It's awesome.
You throwing a little BP? What were you doing out there?
Well, they had me jump in the batter's box a couple of times just so the pitchers could get used to having somebody stand there. So I got hit 3 times.
The more you can do, Coach, the more you can do.
I know. I said, Torrey, put me to work. He threw me in there, and I just got hit about 3 or 4 times. Wouldn't give me a batting helmet, so that was good.
Good stuff. All right, well, let's do it. It's Factor Fouhy with ABC 15's. Craig Fouhy. All right, once again, the events surrounding the NBA All-Star Game were more popular than the game itself, like the skills challenge, three-point shooting, etc. Factor Fouhy.
Fouhy on that. I think the only thing that was of interest was a three-point shoot contest between Steph and Sabrina. I think that was about it. Everybody else is just kind of getting bored of everything surrounding the NBA All-Star Weekend.
So but are those events more popular than the game themselves? And what does Adam Silver, you feel, have to do to get more not that they need more eyeballs, but to make it more interesting?
Well, what are you gonna do in an All-Star game? I mean, for goodness sake, the NFL is playing flag football for gosh. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, what do you have to do to get interest in an All-Star game? I think all they need to do is line the guys up, let them sign autographs for an hour, and go home. I mean, it's a waste of time. 211 points. I mean, come on. This has just gotten silly. Karl Anthony Towns with 50. It's just gotten absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that leads me to the next question, Coach. The three-point shooting contest of Steph Curry and WNBA star Sabrina Ionescu will create more male-female one-on-one competitions in other sports like hockey, soccer, baseball, flag football, golf, etc. Fact or Fouhy?
Nah, Fouhy on that. I don't think so. I don't think there's any interest in going there. Listen, it was a fun contest. It was kind of exciting to see people do that, between Steph and Sabrina. I think that was the most popular event of the weekend, just to see that battle, but I'm not sure it's going to spawn off. Look at the Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King thing. That didn't do anything for 50 years. So I think it's a one-time thing. It's just a fun thing. They'll probably do something else like it next year. But that was the fun moment of the weekend, I think. But I don't think it's got any spin-off.
Craig Fouhy is our guest. The Phoenix Suns, Coach, have the big three healthy at all times in order to improve their seeding for the Western Conference playoffs. They have to have them healthy in order to improve their seeding for the Western Conference playoffs.
At all times.
At all times. Fact or Fouhy?
Hold it. Before I answer, I just pulled a hammy. Hold on.
Okay, I got you. I hear where you're going.
Are you standing next to Bradley Beal?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
Bradley Beal. Yeah, I got a broken nose, too, from that batting practice this morning, so I have to wear a mask. Listen, they can't stay healthy. These guys are made of glass, right? I mean, the minute you get guys back, it's like they played, 16 games together, and then Bradley Beal's hurt again. And now it'll be Devin's turn again, or Kevin's. I mean, it's basketball. It's 82 games. It's grueling. It's every other night, if not every night. It's a grueling season, and guys are going to get hurt.
Coach, I know it was reported that Bradley Beal was going to get nose surgery last week and this week. Has that been clarified one way or the other? And we know he got the hammy issue, but have you heard one way that he actually had no surgery?
No, I have not heard that. I heard the rumors. I haven't heard that particular, but they say he'll be ready Thursday when they get back from the All-Star break to play their first game back. But, who knows, right? I mean, this is just a hamstring can linger for a long time. And if you push it too fast, then he's going to be struggling until the playoffs start in April.
All right, Fouhy, aside from health, the Suns' lack of defense will be their biggest challenge as far as how far they will go in the playoffs. Defense.
Fact. But what do we argue about Mike D'Antoni for years, right? Mm-hmm. They don't play defense, right? And everybody said, well, they spread the court and they run the ball 7 seconds or less. They don't play defense. Well, there's more possessions when you're doing 7 seconds or less. They don't play defense. I mean, we've talked about that forever here, right? They could have won a championship if they had defense. Could have won a championship if guys weren't suspended or injured. I mean, I think defense is a key in the NBA, and not many guys want to do it. There are very few Mikal Bridges out there, Bryant type guys that will play defense. They just want to shoot. They want to shoot the 3-point shot.
All right, Coach, last question since you're out there for a little D-back spring training. The D-backs' biggest hope or goal in coming out of spring training will be their starting rotation and bullpen being 100% healthy. Fact or Fouhy?
Yeah, fact. Listen, that's a fact for baseball teams everywhere, right? You got to be healthy to start the season. You want guys to come out. I know Torrey told us last week that they've got a little different schedule for Zach Gallen, and it's just going to be a little bit slower start for him and for Merrill Kelly. So they know that because Zach pitched over 240 innings last year, so they got to give him a slow start, a slow rollout. But you want those guys ready to go at the start of the season. So far, it seems like everybody's in pretty good shape.
What seems to be kind of the flavor of the week before the first spring training game on Friday, Coach?
Well, today was the annual Ken Kendrick, Derek Hall presser where we talked everything about what we're going to do and the TV rights deal and all that kind of stuff. That was a big 45-minute news conference this morning. So that was kind of the big deal. And then everybody out there, the fans were out there, and Corbin Carroll signing a ton of autographs and excited to see Jock Peterson in a uniform. And so, yeah, it was kind of a fun day. But it was that annual, let's catch up on all the business side of baseball.
Anything come out of that presser in regards to a new stadium?
Ken Kendrick actually said that to build a new stadium is just not cost effective in today's age. And so they're really hoping to get a deal where they can renovate Chase Field. But there's no progress on that at all, other than they continue to talk with city, state, and use taxpayer dollars. If they can avoid that, that's not part of the conversations. But there's absolutely no movement. So from a year ago to this, there's no movement on renovations of Chase Field.
Fouhy, I'm real curious then. Did they indicate at all what those renovations would be? And would that be to cut down on the amount of seats in the building? Because when they first talked about building a new stadium, they wanted it about 35 or 40. Was there any conversation about what they would do to the current stadium?
Yeah, Ken Kendrick said about half of the money involved. They said it's going to be a $400 to $500 million renovation, so it's expensive. But he said about half of that pot is going to infrastructure that you don't see: electrical, plumbing, concrete issues, all those kind of things that the fans don't see. The other half of it would be the fan experience. Derek Hall specifically said, we had mentioned cutting down on the seats, but that's not part of the plan at this point. But I think they would, because you're probably going to add some more suites and club boxes. So it'd probably be more of those kind of, expensive seats for people and fewer general admission seats. But it's all about creating a fan experience and then kind of fixing up a 26-year-old ballpark.
Coach, has anybody figured out what the holdup is?
3.
Obviously coming from the county board of supervisors. And why is that when they got a team ready, willing, and able? Is it a matter of the cost? Who splits what? Or is that what they're debating about? Or where's this all going?
Yeah, it's about the money, where the money's coming from. And Ken Kendrick and Derek Hall both said the words disappointed and frustrating a number of times today. Disappointed. Kendrick said, well, I wouldn't say frustrated, but I'm definitely disappointed. But yeah, it's been a long, dragged out kind of negotiation, and they just haven't gotten anywhere yet. And they're down, as Derek said today, they're down to 3 or 4 years left, 4 years left on this contract. So they kind of need to know what's going to happen, right? It's coming up soon.
Interesting stuff. Fouhy, as always, buddy, have a great week. Thanks for the time today.
Will do. You guys, you got it. Anytime. See ya.
You got it. Oh, Daytona 500 going at it. Big crash. Bam, bam.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, lots of them.
Oh,
2.
that'll hurt.
It's going to leave a mark.
Oh, literally. Man.
There's about 6-7 cars involved.
Oh, is that all?
Jeez. Hey, we're live out here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. I appreciate Fouhy joining us as, of course, yesterday with the rain. They had to do double duty today with the Daytona. They had to do the early race, the Infinity race, before this race, which is the Daytona, which just got underway. But good stuff there. By the way, Arizona just scored again.
Thank you, Rock. I appreciate it.
Rock got his bet in.
Yep.
You're your lock.
I just
not 18 and a half.
That was just
16 and a half.
I'm telling you,
Man.
I've never seen a squad of talented young athletes just quit as a unit.
You know what's interesting?
Which they did.
Bobby Hurley said we had no answer for them. For me, that means, and he's covering for his players. Number one.
That's what he's
number
taking
two,
the bullet. That's
number
correct.
two, you're telling your alumni you don't have the talent, you
1
have
minute.
the skill sets, you don't have the group of guys to go compete with that team. And here we were going, well, ASU, they beat Oregon State on Wednesday night, and they'll be all ready and raring, and U of A had the whole week off. Yeah, they might be a little rusty my ass. They ran them out of the gym.
They did.
They were fresh, going up and down the court, and ASU looked like they were standing still, or just standing around looking and going, wow, look at that guy. They were like admiring
what they were doing
up and down the court.
I will say this, what you just referenced about Bobby after the in the press conference following the game about, taking the shot, trying to protect his team. He is the head coach. He is responsible for going out and recruiting those players. And so that onus is on him, but the players need to perform. And they just did not. I mean, it was lights out. They all just turned off the switch and went to bed.
And if whoever the new AD is coming in, you don't want to hear that from your head coach. Yeah, we had no answers. Yeah, we had no game. We weren't competitive. Your AD, whoever that's going to be eventually, does not want to hear that as an answer going, look, here's a few things that broke down or whatever. But you get schooled by 45 points.
I know. Yep.
That's incomprehensible for an athletic director to go, I call Bobby and say, Bobby, what do we need to do to help you? Because this is inexcusable.
Cash.
Well, if that's it, then that AD is going to have to go continue to fundraise like a big dog, whoever that's going to be.
Casey from the CAZ Sportsbook will just look back at this past weekend's college basketball games and see if there are any NBA All-Star bets. We'll dive into that next. It's Rocket Minuch with Jimmy B out here at Casino Arizona.